Hello, guys, welcome back to mathematics. Today we are going to learn how to round decimal numbers. But what is rounding decimal numbers? That means when you have a number with a lot of decimals, let's say the pi number, which is actually not just long, it's infinity. So rounding means that I'm going to cut the number and don't take in account all the decimals. I'm just going to consider, for example, the tens and the hundredths because I don't need that precision, for example. But what is random useful for? I brought you two situations from a bunch of them where it is very useful to round the decimals. Let's say that you are in the lab and you have 50 milliliters of water and you need to divide it in 7 samples in these test tubes. So you go and put it in the calculator and it gives you this. It just doesn't give you more digits because it doesn't have space. Otherwise, it could keep going forever. You don't really need those numbers because you are not going to be able to measure it in your test tubes. So you are just going to say like 7 and a little bit. It's a little bit more than 7 or is 7.1 because you have 10 little lines here and you are able to measure that. So you just need the number until tenths and you say, okay, in each one I'm going to put 7.1 milliliters. Another situation very common in the classroom. You are writing in your notebooks and then you have to do a table with 7 columns and you have 20 squares. And then you go to the calculator again and put the operation there. And then the calculator gives you this. And it just doesn't make sense for you to measure this because you have just squares. So you can say, okay, I'm not going to use all of these. I'm just going to use the 2.8. But you need to know how to round it correctly. That's what we are going to do today. So let's see how it works. Let's imagine we have this number here, 45.385. Let's remember this is the position of the thousandths, hundredths, tenths, and the wholes. So, since it's in the position of the thousands, the last digit, we are not going to round it to the thousand because it's already there. We could round it to the hundredths, or to the tenths, or even to the wholes. Let's start rounding to the wholes. So, guys, when we round to the wholes, so when we round the number, we just need to check the value of the next place value. So 45.385 is somewhere between 45 and 46. We just need to choose which one is closer to the given number. So we have right in the middle the 45.5. So we need to decide in what half the number is, here or here. Okay? If it's here, for example, the number is closer to 46, so we would take it to the 46. And if it was somewhere here, then we take it to the 45. It's 0.38, so it's going to be somewhere here, let's say 45.385. Then it's closer to the 45. So you just need to check the 3. The 3 is smaller than the 5, so it's closer to the 45. Then the rounded to the wholes is going to be 45. So imagine that like a roller coaster. If the number is smaller than 5, they are go back to the smallest number, so 45. Since we were here like in the 45.385, the next number is the 3, so it goes back to the 45. If the number was bigger than 5, let's say 45.7, then the 7 goes forward until the next number, 46. But what happens with the 5 right in the middle? Where should it go? So by default, this always goes forward, okay? So it's going to go to the biggest one. The 5 moves forward. It's a little bit going to the right. But let's check what happens if we round to the tenths. For the tenths, the next number is an 8. The 8 goes forward. So that means that is going to be 45 point. Since the 8 goes forward, then the 3 becomes a 4. 45.4. Because the 8 makes it to go to the biggest one. And finally, let's round to the hundredths. So for the hundredths, we need to check the position of the thousandths. That is 5. So remember the 5 moves forward. So this is also going to be bigger. 45.39. It goes up because of the 5. But I know everything gets clearer with some examples. So let's check. Let's see, we are going to round to the nearest tenths. The position of the tenths is here. So that means I'm going to eliminate this part. But I need to take in account that this is a 7. The 7 makes the 6 to go up. So the approximation would be 7.7. Notice the answer, the approximation, is just going to have until the asked position, tenths, then it's just going to have tenths. Let's check this one. This one is about rounding to the closest thousands. The position of the thousands is here, so we need to eliminate this part. But this is a 9. Bigger than 5, it goes up. So this one goes up 93.383 because it goes up. It's closer to the 383 than the 382. The next one says to round to the wholes. So we are going, this is the position of the wholes, so we need to eliminate this part. The next position is a 2, so that means it keeps down. It's just 34. Until the position of the tens is this one, so we need to check this one. Doesn't matter if this is a 9, guys. Since this is a 0, it just keep down, 23.5. And for the hundredths is this position, we just need to check these 3. So the 5 doesn't matter. We just check the 3 and keep it down, 0.48. Okay, guys, practice time. We are going to do the practice a little bit different. I'm going to show you an exercise and 3 options. And then we are going to check the answer in each one. First one, round to the nearest tenth, 1.678. And the answer is B, 1.7. Because this is the tenth, this one is bigger than 5, so it goes up to 1.7. Next one, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, the hundred is this position, so we need to check this one. Is 5. 5 makes it to go up. So A, 7.66. Next one, round to the nearest whole, 25.31. And the answer is C. Since this is a 3, this one keeps down, 25. Guys, it keeps down to the 25. Doesn't mean that it goes down to the 24. Impossible, because this number is still closer to 25 than to 24. Okay, so careful with that. Round to the nearest tenth. And the answer is C. This is the position of the tenths. The next one is a 0, so it keeps it down, 5.7. The last one, round to the nearest whole. The answer is B. The whole is 0, but the next one is 9, is bigger than 5, then it makes it to go up to 1. Okay, guys, that was all for today's lesson. Don't forget to subscribe, book your own lessons with me if you want, and drop any question you have in the comments box. Bye bye, guys. See you next time.